Welcome back to our channel Vansh Patel Academy. In this video, we are going to start our chapter number 13, our environment of class 10th science. Okay, in the new book, it is chapter number 13, and in old book, it is chapter number 15. Okay, first, let's start with our chapter. In this chapter, we are going to learn about environment, ecosystem, then trophic level, then the loss of energy in ecosystem 10% law, then food chain, food web, trophic level, then biodegradable, non-biodegradable, ozone, biomagnification, ozone depletion, and ozone formation. So let's start with our first topic, our environment and ecosystem. What is the difference between our environment and ecosystem? Let's do one by one. First of all, environment. It is surrounding where organisms live. That means we are living, that is called environment. Okay, we are living with air, atmosphere, temperature, then water, that is called environment. That we are living over here with our insects and another all living organisms. Okay, now environment change when we change our place. For example, here I am in India, environment is different, and if we go will in America, then the environment will be changed. Okay, so that is the difference. Now the last point and the third point of the environment is, it is just a place in a time. That means where you are, it denotes that, if it denotes that you are in Germany, you are in America, or you are in India. If you changing the country by country, that means you are changing your environment. While ecosystem is completely different of it. Ecosystem is that where the community of biotic and abiotic organisms live together. First of all, what is biotic and what is abiotic? What is biotic and what is abiotic? Biotic means all the living organisms. And abiotic means all the non-living organisms. Non-living means air, water, food. That's it. All living that are called in non-living organisms. Okay, so where the biotic and abiotic organisms live together, it is known as ecosystem. Ecosystem do not change on place. That means it do not depend on the where the organism travel. If there is a factor of biotic and abiotic is there, that is called ecosystem. Okay, lots of ecosystem join and one environment is formed. Lots of ecosystem connect and one environment is formed. Now the third point is, it depends on the life process. That means if we are in Germany, for example, if we are in Germany, the plants can make their food even there only, because there is also the water, there is also the chlorophyll, there is also the sunlight. Okay, and in India they can also make the food by their own self, with the factors, with these 3-4 factors. That means the plant as well as the human, they both are doing the life process that is necessary in our daily to daily life. Therefore it is known as ecosystem. Okay, if there is not a single factor, for example, if there is biotic but there is not abiotic, then it will not be called as ecosystem, and that is not possible, because without abiotic the biotic organisms cannot live. Okay, now first of all, let's see the divisions of ecosystem. Ecosystem divided into two parts: natural and artificial. Natural means created by the nature. That means forest, rivers, then streams, that are called natural. And artificials are aquarium, then zoo, they are called artificial. Now the subdivisions of natural are aquatic and terrestrial. Aquatic means the organisms which live in the sea or ocean. and the terrestrial organisms are those which live in forest. Okay, so these are the examples. I hope that is clear to you all. Now let's see some further divisions of components of ecosystem. Further, I have said about the biotic and abiotic. What is biotic, abiotic? You know that. Then let's do the completely division of biotic and abiotic factor. Abiotic means climate factors and adiabatic factors. You don't have to learn this. You just how to learn this climatic factor. That means climatic factor means that I have told previously, the food, water, they are called climatic factors. Now biotic have producer, consumer and decomposer. Producer are plant, consumer are they which they eat plant. For example, we eat plant, so we are consumer. And decomposers are microorganisms and insect which decompose our body after the death. Okay, now I am showing the picture of cyclic process or a food chain. The flow of energy, for the definition, flow of the energy is unidirectional and it cannot give back to the previous trophic level. First of all, let's see it. When the abiotic components are there, then heat, sunlight, water come and plant is produced. That is, it is called primary or a producer. Then it is eaten by the monkey. Okay, it is eaten by the monkey. So a monkey is the consumer, and when the monkey die, it is decomposed by the other microorganisms. So they are the decomposer, and after the death of that decomposer, they mix into our environment or in our stratosphere or atmosphere. Okay, so this is the cyclic process. Okay, this is a cyclic process. I have told that. And for example, if the plant have taken the energy from the environment, that means it take the CO2, water, sunlight, it cannot give back to environment. Or for example, a monkey has eaten the plant. The monkey cannot provide back, cannot give back the eaten plant. Cannot given by the monkey to the environment. Okay, so it cannot give the energy to the environment back, and it is the flow of energy, that means energy is transferred from producer to monkey to decomposer to environment. Okay, this is the flow of energy. Now let's move on to the further divisions of producer, consumer and decomposer. Producer make their own food, that means plants. Then consumer, they depend upon the producer, that means they depend upon the plants only. And there are the further three divisions of consumer, that means primary, secondary and tertiary, and terrestrial or a tertiary. So it is the further three divisions. Students, wait for a while. Okay, so we see that the primary, secondary and tertiary. Let's see what is primary, tertiary and secondary. For example, this is plant eaten by a deer. Deer is eaten by the lion, and lion decomposed by the microorganisms. So there are 4 trophic level, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is producer, these both are consumer, and this is decomposer. But in consumer, we seen that there are 3 trophic level. First is primary, so deer will become primary, then lion will become secondary, because the lion has eaten the deer. So lion will become secondary and deer will become primary consumer. Okay, there is a further division of consumer. For example, animal eat the plant, that is primary consumer. That animal is eaten by the another animal, that is secondary, and that secondary animal is eaten by the third animal, that is tertiary, and this will die and microorganisms will convert it into the different protein or a nitrogen or nitrogenous waste into the environment and give it to the environment. Okay, so this is the further division of consumer. And I want to ask one question. Okay, here one plant is there, it is eaten by the deer and deer is eaten by the lion. So here how many trophic levels are there? How many trophic levels are there? Let me know in the comment box. Okay, there are three trophic levels. In second trophic level, which type of animal is there? Which type of animal is there? It is deer, but which type of? Producer, consumer, or decomposer? It is consumer, but in consumer which type? Primary. I hope it is not a confusion at all and clear it. Now let's see the food chain. What is the food chain? The flow of energy from one organism to the next organism, it's called food chain. That means this animal give the energy to this animal by giving themselves. This animal give energy to this animal. Okay, there is a flow of energy from passing from the one animal to the another animal. So it is the flow of energy come to next generation, to the next generation, and it is unidirectional. That means it go in this direction only. It cannot reverse back. Now let's see about the trophic level. The position that the organism at in the food chain, that means the position that is occupied by the animal, it's called trophic level. Or you can learn by this way also, the various transport of the food take place in food chain, it's called trophic level. But I give you suggestion to go with this definition only. Okay, so for this is for a general knowledge. At a top of trophic level, human will be always there. Okay, we know that there is a producer, consumer, and decomposer, but here there is also further division: primary, secondary, and tertiary. So we will come in tertiary because we are not secondary or primary, which we will eaten by the animals or that. Okay, so we will at the top of the trophic level. First trophic level, second trophic level, third and fourth. First trophic level is grass. Second level is grass eat animal, that means deer. Then the animal which is eaten by this, it is known as second trophic level, and third trophic level is decomposer. We have seen the trophic level. You can see here detail. There is a grass, then there is a rabbit is eaten by the snake, and snake is eaten by the eagle. So this is called the trophic levels. Okay, it is trophic level is unidirectional, it is not cyclic. Food chain is cyclic, but trophic level is unidirectional. It cannot reverse back. That means one animal, for example, rabbit eat plants, but plant cannot eat rabbit. That's it's the difference. You have to differentiate by your own self, and you have to remember that. Now let's move on to the another main topic, that is loss of energy in an ecosystem. The 10% law. This is very easy. Let's first of all see the definition. Only the 10% of energy is transferred, 90% of energy are not transferred. That means what is trying to say? For example, let's see by a diagram. First of all, remember the remember the definition. 10% of law of 10% of energy is transfer, 90% is not transfer. For example, these are the plants. They have 100 joule of energy. Energy is denoted by the joule. 100 joule of energy, which is eaten by the aquatic animals. Okay, they will only get 100 joules. Here there is 1,000 joule, but they will get only 100 joules. And that aquatic animals eaten by the bigger fishes, they will get only 10 joule. And that smaller fish are eaten by the bigger fish, it's get 1 joule only. Why the 10 is removing, or 10% of energy is only the transfer to the next trophic level? Because this plant will eaten by these small aquatic animals. They will do their own life process also, like digestion, then absorption by villi, now respiration, now etc. So they will also need the energy. Now the 90% of energy is consumed by them, and the 10% is transported to the another trophic level. So that is the 10% law. Okay, we have completed the hard topic, 10% law. Now let's move on to the food web. What is food web? We have learned the food chain, but what is food web? When the lots of food chain combine or mix, it is called food web. That means in food chain there is only one chain is there, but in food web, this is one food chain, this is second food chain, this is third food chain, and that is the fourth food chain. 5 to 6 food chain combined, and that is known as food web. Let's see the definition. Interconnected food chain where an organism get food from more animals. That is the definition of food web. All the food chain combined and the one food web form that I have told. Now let's do the in more advanced form. For example, this is the grass. In food chain, the grass is only eaten by the rabbit, but here in food web, grass is eaten by the mouse, the grasshopper also, the frog also. So in the food chain, the animal get in the food web, the animal get its food from various animals. In food chain, you can see food chain. Here is the plant. Plant is eaten by the only this animal only, and that animal will eaten by the particular third trophic level animal. Okay, while in food web, for example, the first trophic level animal can eat the third trophic level animal also. In food web, not in food chain. So that is the main difference over here. Now let's see some common differences of food chain and food web. Food chain, it is the linear flow of energy or nutrition. It is a linear flow of energy or nutrition. And food web, it is term of combine of different food chain. It is the term combine of food chain that I have told earlier. Organisms of higher trophic level feeds on specific organism. That means in short form, the second trophic level animal only eat the first trophic level animal, but third trophic level cannot eat the first level trophic level animal. That means in between them there is a deer, which deer eat the plant and lion eat the deer. But in food chain, the plant cannot eaten by the lion. That is not possible. But in food web, for example, this is plant which have to eaten by the grasshopper, and grasshopper have to eaten by the frog. But if you remove the grasshopper, then the Then the frog can also eat. Then the frog can also eat the first trophic level organism. That is the main difference over here. You can see I have mentioned here that the third trophic level animal can feed the first trophic animal. Can feed the first trophic level animal. So don't be so confused in that. Now the third point is the every it does not affect the ability and the composite of the, that means every animal depend on the each other in food chain, but in particular animal in food chain, but in food web, in the animal is not depend on the particular animal, not a particular animal, but a different animal it can consume, but not can consume particular. Okay, leave it for a further easy divisions in food chain. Okay, I am talking about the chain. In food chain, the animal is depend on the particular animal. That means the deer is depend on the plant only, while in food chain the animal did not depend on the particular animal. So that is the difference between the food chain and the food web. Now let's start with our next topic, biomagnification. In ninth standard, you have heard or uh, tell tell by the someone that biomagnification. What is biomagnification? You have, I hope that is you have learned or you have heard this word. This is not a new for you. Or if you have heard the biomagnification for a first time, that is there is no worry about it. I will solve the problem. Let's see the definition. The process by which the pollutant increase in the concentration and it travel from one organism to the another, it is called biomagnification. That means this is plant. Some pollutants, wait for a while students, this is plant. This is plant, okay, and this is the deer, and this is lion. So while making in the plant, what is the main process? Photosynthesis. But in the photosynthesis, some pollutants like nitrogenous waste, then a pollution, then excess of carbon monoxide, that the pollution will increase in the concentration of the plant, and the deer will eat it. Then that the all the pollutants given to the deer also, that the pollutants increase in the number. Now deer is eaten by the lion, then that pollutants get by the lion, and that increase by the double. So that is called the biomagnification, increase in the pollution in the food chain. So the simple and easy definition. And I want to ask one question: why is there only 4 or a 3 to 4 trophic level? Why there is not 5 to 6 trophic level? Let me know in the comment box. That is the easy answer, students. That is easy answer, because as I have told earlier that because of the biomagnification, the pollutants are added in the food chain. So if we will add the pollutants in our body, then obviously we will die. For example, this is plant have a pollutants, then that pollutants is eaten by the deer, it increased by the numbers, then that is eaten by the lion, and as the lion increase in the concentration of the pollutants, then the lion will die by its own self with some biological process. So that is why there is only 3 to 4 trophic level. Now one of the most IMP topic, it is asked in 5 marks in board. In board. So you have to learn this by heart only. Don't worry, this we will do in just 2 seconds. You just have to focus on here. First of all, where the ozone layer, ozone is the type of layer, the molecule is O3. O3. Where the ozone is present, we will learn the function, how the ozone form, what is the importance, how it is destroying, and why it is destroying. That we will do. But first of all, let's see its location. In second layer of atmosphere. That means this is our earth. Okay, this is the atmosphere. There are the total 5. Let's make visible. This is our earth. I hope it is clear to you all. This is earth. There is a atmosphere 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. There are the 5 total layer of the atmosphere. There is a till here our atmosphere is there. Till here our atmosphere is there. So in the second layer, the second layer is known as the stratosphere, and in stratosphere the ozone is present. Ozone layer is present in stratosphere or in the second layer of the atmosphere. Now let's see some important points. It is the O3 molecule. It protects us from the UV rays. That means here the earth is here and the sun giving the constant UV rays, and that is very harmful to us. That burn our skin or that effect on our eye also. So here the ozone is present, that all the most of the 90% of the ray are reflected back into the space, and only the 10% of the ray come into our atmosphere. So that is our importance of our ozone layer. Now UV rays damage our skin. As I have told earlier, UV rays damage our skin. Now let's see the formation of ozone layer. We know that the ozone protects us from the UV rays, but how the ozone is formed? Ozone is formed by the O2 molecule. That means oxygen. Oxygen lie in the first layer of the atmosphere, and when it absorb, here is the oxygen. It will absorb the UV rays, and due to the UV rays, it will convert into the 2 oxygen atom, students. 2 oxygen atom, not a oxygen molecule. Molecules means O3, O2, O4. That is a molecule. 2 oxygen atom convert by the UV rays from the O2. That means oxygen. And that one atom of oxygen react with oxygen molecule. That means this is atom, one atom only, and this is molecule. The 2 oxygen atom combined, and that is molecule. So one atom of oxygen combined with two molecule of oxygen, then it will form O3, and that is ozone. So due to the UV rays only, we will get the ozone, and that by forming the ozone, we are protected by the UV rays. Now what is the depletion? Why the depletion of the ozone in the atmosphere is taking place? This is the one more IMP topic. It asks in the board for a many times for a 3 to 4 marks. No, 2 to 3 marks. Sorry students, 2 to 3 marks. Now let's see what is depletion of ozone in atmosphere. We use AC and refrigerator, and it cool our ecosystem or our environment. Okay, why it is cooling our environment? Because it contain of chlorofluorocarbon. C sorry students, CFC, chlorofluorocarbon, is released by the refrigerator and the AC, and that refrigerator and AC release that react with the ozone. That means this is our earth, we release CFC. Here is the our O3, that is ozone. They will go and react with it, and that particular area will be destroyed. That means there is a hole over there. Then the UV rays, concentration of UV rays will be increased, and they will come over in our atmosphere from 10% to the 20%. So that is the depletion of ozone layer due to the release of the CFC by the refrigerator and the AC. CFC is released, and that CFC react with the ozone layer and break down the ozone into the O2 and single atom. So how the CFC is damaging the O3 molecule? So CFC, students, CFC, it go up to the second trophic level, not second atmosphere level, and it react with UV rays. And carbon dioxide, CO2, is formed. From CFC, the CO2 is formed because the UV rays break down the CFC into the carbon dioxide, and that carbon dioxide react with. From this, students, we come to know that UV rays help us in both the time, from formation of O3, and UV rays do not help in the it lose our O3 molecule, it damage our O3 molecule. That means by breaking down of the oxygen molecule into the two atoms, it helping to form the O3 molecule by the UV rays. But by the UV rays only the CO2 is formed, and that affect our O3 molecule. Now, the biodegradable and non-biodegradable. This is the topic which is asked in this time in the board for a 2 marks. For this time in the 2 marks it is asked. So you have to learn, because this is most IMP, and that there is a chances that will be asked in the future also. Now the biodegradable. You know the biodegradable and non-biodegradable word. Biodegradable are nature friendly. They are decomposed naturally by the environment or action of microorganism. But it do not decompose naturally. And the biodegradable are environment friendly, while non-biodegradable are harmful to the environment. They are harmful to the environment. They cause pollution. Then it after decomposition of biodegradable material, it convert into the natural ingredient. While due to the in non-biodegradable things, it do not decompose and made up into the synthetic material. So the fourth point is it convert into the manure or a recycle. But while in non-biodegradable, that is only have to recycle or reused. It cannot be convert into the manure. So these are the 5 to 4 points, and you have to mention the examples: waste paper, wood, crumbles, etc. While the example of biodegradable are plastic, cans, the disposal bags, bottles, etc. So these are some IMP terms and conditions of biodegradable and non-biodegradable that you have to learn, and that is easy to learn. You can score 2 out of 2 in this. I hope here we have completed with our chapter number 13, our environment. I hope that is clear to you all. If you like the video and understand the chapter, then like, share and subscribe and support to our channel. Next meet in the next video. तब तक के लिए जय हिंद जय भारत.